And now we come to our keynote speaker, which is Dr. Michelle Petticolis. Let me read her introduction here so you won't see my face go away. The title of her presentation is Four Essential R's of Toastmasters Leadership. Four Essential R's of Toastmaster Leadership. And let me read her introduction. Dr. Michelle Petticolis is an international speaker, distinguished Toastmaster, and Area D30 Director. Founder of Second Chance Secrets, a professional training center, she enables coaches and healers and change makers to unleash their true brilliance so they can attract premium clients with high-end programs that make a difference in the world. Please help me welcome Dr. Michelle Petticolis, Four Essential R's of Toastmasters Leadership.
I just want to make sure that you can hear me.
Yes.
Okay. Leadership, I believe, is in a process of transformation. That it's changing from this standard of coercion and force and pressure to a different model, a model of community and connection. And I believe that organizations like Toastmasters are the forerunners. So listen up, because I'm going to share with you four valuable secrets to leading in a volunteer organization. But before I do that, I would like to see a show of hands. How many of you are leaders in Toastmasters right now? We've got a bunch of leaders. Well, why am I not surprised? The organization here, our club, is called Leaders Worldwide. Now I would like to ask you to write in the chat what your major challenge is as being a leader in Toastmasters. While you do that, I'm going to share my own challenge. And my own challenge is getting people to do what I want them to do. Former President, US President Dwight D. Eisenhower said, leadership, and he wasn't just talking about leadership in a volunteer organization, leadership is the art of getting somebody to do what you want them to do because they want to. My 4 R's of leadership, my keys, are going to help you to do that. So the number one R is reason. Now, I'm not talking about logic here. I'm talking about the reason, the why that you became a leader. This is really, really important because it's going to have an impact on your longevity, on your commitment, on your showing up. When I started Toastmasters, I had a pretty wimpy reason. The former president, or the current president, he had already been president for 2 years, and I felt sorry for him. And also, I thought, well, it's a volunteer organization. I got to step up sometime. This is not a good reason. You need to have a vision. You need to have a personal reason. Otherwise, let's just get this over with, right? Fortunately, I got that vision very early on because the reality was, the former president said to me, presidency is the easiest role in all of Toastmasters because you delegate everything. That assumes there's somebody to delegate to. I didn't have enough people to delegate. So I had to enroll people. And my vision was that there would be enough members in the club that we would actually have a real officers election and maybe even shadow officers and teams. And that's what I worked towards. And then I actually moved to my next reason. And my next reason was more personal. What I found was as I stepped into my leadership, people responded to me. I even motivated some of the officers to be more than just name only officers. They started showing up. I'm like, wow, hey, I have some skills I didn't even know I had. And this actually raised my confidence and made me a more effective coach in the world. So look to your reason. And in fact, go ahead and post it in the chat. Yeah, I noticed there was delegating. Post in the chat what your reasons are for becoming a leader. So that's our number one. Our number two has to do with your team. It's respect. Part of being a leader in Toastmasters, eventually you learn you cannot do it all yourself. It took me a while. It took me until I started being the executive director of a Speechcraft on steroids. I couldn't do it all. I had to delegate. So I had to learn how to do that. And one of the R's for delegating is respect. Now, what do I mean by respect? I mean that you want to respect them by giving them the information that they need so that they can do a good job. And then let it go. Let them win, succeed, or fail, and allow them to do it. And if they do make mistakes, be there to guide them. But don't micromanage them, okay? Don't micromanage them. There's another reason, respect. Oh yes, time. Be respectful of their time. Do not carry on long, endless meetings that are unnecessary. Get to the point. Have your agenda. Get going, because we are busy people, and that's respect. So we have reason, respect, and the next R is rewards. Rewards. Well, in corporations and business, they use salary, bonuses as rewards. What do they do in Toastmasters? Well, we have certificates, we have medals, we have little pins, we have OATM. But what about you as a leader? What can you give? I'm going to give you a little secret. This is a really, really important secret. When I was working in a group home on the Navajo reservation, I was working with emotionally disturbed children. And do you know what the number one motivator in that behavioral program was?
Food.
My time. It was the most valuable reward they could get, was my time. Not recreation, not goodies, not money. It was my time. And that's true for a leader. In Toastmasters, if you give your people your time, if you phone them on the phone and say, hey, that was a good job you did, that is actually very rewarding. If you take an interest in them, that makes an impression. If you share your approval or appreciation of them to other people in Toastmasters, you provide them with visibility, that's reward. And then you could find out what motivates them. In my original club, Heart to Heart, what motivated people were speaking opportunities. For one, we only met once a month. And two, everyone was an entrepreneur. They were dying to have speaking opportunities. So I went out and I made friends with a lot of different clubs, and I came back with special opportunities, target speaker, and I handed these little opportunities out as rewards. There are many ways in which you can do this in your club. And of course, you can always get a gift. Once in a while, that's appropriate to give a really special gift of acknowledgement. So when I finished my presidency after 2 years, Cynthia gave me a plaque. Okay, a plaque. I still have it on my desk because it says Club President Award in recognition of dedicated service and outstanding leadership. This means so much to me. So that's how you can use reward. So the last R is your reputation. If you have a good reputation, it does a lot of the legwork for you. It does a lot of the effort for you. People will show up because you have a good reputation. Of course, when I started, I didn't have any reputation at all. What do? You hang on the coattail of your mentor. Cynthia was my mentor, and she had a reputation. So when she introduced me to other leaders in Toastmasters, they took notice. They said, oh, so Cynthia's interested in her. There must be something about her. And she set me a task in which I had to reach out to those members and those officers and those dignitaries and get them to help us. And that was the way in which I created my reputation. Now, once in a while, I'm sorry, I'm having to look for the timer here. Oh, there she is. Okay. Hi. Once in a while, you might have to step out of your comfort zone and do something based on your integrity. So one time, I had to step out of my comfort zone because one of the members in my club was having difficulty with her HPL project. She had a member on her advisory board that she really, really needed in order to get her project up on the district website. And suddenly he went missing in action. Not only did he go missing in action, but a lot of her action team went missing in action. And so the other advisory committee, they started pulling out the big guns. They were like demanding he better show up. What's going on here? We're going to take action. Well, I actually liked this particular person. He had my respect. And even though this had nothing to do with me, I stepped up and I called him and I said, how can I help? Can I resolve this? And he responded right away. I set up a meeting between him and the member, and we came up with a solution. It was out of my comfort zone, but sometimes that is a sign of your leadership, is when you step out of your comfort zone and make a difference for other people. So now I would like you to write down what the 4 R's are in the chat. What do you remember? Now, Cynthia always taught me that when you're giving a speech, you want 3 points. People will always remember 3 points. 4 is too many. Here's my thought. The one that you forget is the one you need to learn. So go ahead. Oh, somebody's got all 4. Okay, you're good. Your reason for being a leader is the number 1 thing you have to concern yourself with. This is going to hold you through the course of your leadership. This is going to give you your guidance. This is going to give you your motivation. This is going to give you the way in which to continue. Back when I was giving speeches on caregiving, I used to tell the caregivers that you needed to have a good reason for caregiving, and just that people expected you to do it or that there was nobody else to do it is not a good enough reason. You actually have to have a reason that comes from your heart. So have a vision, have a personal objective. Number 2 is respect. Respect your team members. Give them room to grow and to develop. Number 3, reward them. Acknowledge them regularly. This is your currency. This is the way in which they're going to come back again and again. And finally, number 4 is your reputation. Guard it carefully. When you have made a commitment, you honor that commitment. You show up. You be there. You fulfill it. Because, it doesn't take much to destroy your reputation. One time when I was giving the Speechcraft, we had a speaker who was supposed to show up, and like maybe an hour before we were showing up in downtown Oakland, he sends an email and says, I didn't realize it was this tonight. I can't make it. And we had to jump in and figure out how to do that. Now, of course, being a good leader, you always have to have a plan B. But in that case, I have never forgotten. And that particular person would not be somebody I would invite to speak for me again. It's just you hurt your reputation. So if you said you're going to show up and speak, make sure that you show up. Your reason, respect, reward, and reputation. If you have any questions, please post it in the chat. I would like to open it up for questions. And back to you, Madam Toastmaster.